We are the George Fox University Players. We're here to share some stories with you. We'll share 3 stories. These are our stories, and they are true. We will share them with you in 3 acts: life, death, resurrection.
I see faces, hundreds of them every day. New faces, old faces. Working at a grocery store, I can't help it. They're wrinkled, sunburnt, a few inches of makeup caked on them. And I always ask myself, will that be me someday? Will I be the one who wants paper instead of plastic? Will I be rummaging through a bulging wallet, or will I be handing over food stamps? Will I be wearing a wedding ring or no ring at all? Will I be frantically shushing a crying baby, or will I wish I had a crying baby to shush? Will I buy lots of organic veggies or lots of TV dinners? Who will I be? These questions terrify me. Sometimes I'm not the one who's asking them. Today a lady stood in my line, hunched over, credit card in hand.
So, are you in high school?
Actually, I just finished my first year of college.
Oh, where at?
George Fox University. Her furrowed brow signals that she, like most people I tell, have no idea where that is. It's a little south of Portland. It's pretty small.
Oh, so it's a private school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's paying for that?
Got scholarships.
Well, that's good. What are you majoring in?
English.
Well, you're gonna have to go to grad school then, unless you want to teach at the elementary level.
Who will I be? This question came to me again as I was walking a lady out to her car. The only reason she needed help was that her arm hung in a sling.
So, are you in high school?
The typical conversation unfolded as we crossed the Sunbake parking lot.
English, huh? So, literature, or do you want to teach it, or?
I'd like to go abroad and teach it for a couple of years. Maybe come back and teach at a high school level or college level. Or maybe go into editing and publishing. I'm not really sure yet.
Well, certainly sounds like you have a lot of options there.
As I walked back to the store, I told her to have a great day.
You too, and good luck.
Who will I be? That lady thought she knew. This one did not. And although she didn't give me any answers, she did give me hope with those few words.
Certainly sounds like you have a lot of options there.
Hope that I could be something great. Hope that one day, far into the future, when I'm standing in line at a grocery store, I might still have a smile.
The poster hangs on a wall at my house, above the stairs to our bonus room. I don't go up there very often, but I know it's there. STS 107 written across the bottom in bold letters. A picture of a space shuttle blasting off decorates the side. I got this poster when I was 9 years old, when I had my whole life figured out. I was going to be an astronaut. I had read books on galaxies and supernovas and the history of the space program. I had done weeks of research to write my own miniature biography of Neil Armstrong. The NASA Kids website was the only reason I used the internet. I even wrote a poem, which I very creatively titled, "I Want to Be an Astronaut." I imagined myself strapped into one of the space shuttles, wearing a bright orange suit and a glass helmet. I imagined the weight of the G-forces pressing down into me as I reached for different buttons and talked to mission control. I imagined the freedom of finally unbuckling the straps, of doing a somersault in midair, of looking down at my beloved Earth through a tiny window. Of course, I kept up to date with all of the latest space news, so when the space shuttle announced that it was setting out on its 28th mission, STS 107, I eagerly sent in my question to NASA's website. And to my utter glee, I received an email that my question had been picked to be answered on NASA Livestream the morning of the launch. And because my question had been picked, NASA was sending me an official poster. My dad and I woke up at dawn to watch the pre-launch live stream. But the website had crashed due to the massive amount of views. I wasn't too upset, however. They had still picked my question, and I was still getting my official poster. On February 1st, 2003, the 16th and final day of the mission, I come downstairs only to be tackled by my 7-year-old sister.
The space shuttle, it crashed.
No, it didn't. Space shuttles don't crash.
It crashed.
I looked over at my parents watching the news in silence. I looked over at the TV screen and saw footage of what looked like pieces of a shooting star streaking across a deep blue sky.
The Space Shuttle Columbia, which lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center on January 16th, has exploded over Texas. NASA declared a state of emergency after losing contact with Columbia several minutes before its expected landing time.
I ran away. I ran upstairs to my room sobbing. I cried for 7 families who were suddenly without a husband, a wife, a daughter, a son. I cried for the people at Mission Control, for the NASA scientists. I cried for myself and for my dream. Later that day, the doorbell rang. And when I opened the door, there was a cardboard poster tube sitting on my welcome mat. My official Columbia poster had arrived. It still hangs on the wall at my house, a reminder of my lost hopes and of the simple fact that I don't have all the answers. I've asked God so many times why those astronauts had to die, why my dream had to die. I don't know if I'll get an answer, but I hope that one day it will be clear when I'm in heaven, looking down at my once beloved earth.
I set out to face a fear that day.
I need to get out of the house.
I needed a breath of fresh air.
I was ready to sink my toes in the sand.
I need time with my friends.
We were on our way to a suspension bridge on the coast of Oregon. I hate bridges, but I was determined to face my fear and learn to be brave. The 5 of us sat in content silence, the car radio playing a peppy soundtrack for our day in the sun. None of us knew that we would never make it to the bridge that day. We did, however, make it to Highway 18, but there our journey ends as we sideswipe an oncoming SUV with a tremendous crash and an explosion of metal. 2 cars in 1 lane, 70 miles an hour. I hear everything and yet nothing all at the same time. I see my friend in the passenger seat slammed into the airbag as my head is propelled into the headrest in front of me. A maelstrom of glass, dirt, and wheat fly in through the now broken windows, inches from our faces. We're upside down, tipping, rolling, crashing. I feel debris of the storm rain across my face. I feel a body being whipped around next to me, and terror grips me when I realize that I no longer know if that body is alive or dead. Glimpses of brown hair, a white t-shirt, a reaching hand. It feels as if time has stopped. How long have we been crashing? Mere seconds? An eternity? On our side, upside down, back down again. Are we ever going to stop? They say that in moments like this, your life flashes before your eyes, but I don't see my life. I don't see my regrets or my dreams. I see my loved ones. The ones in the car that I no longer know if they're alive or not. My parents back home that will either be receiving a call from me or a call from the police. And the friends who I'd hoped I'd told them I loved them recently enough in case I wasn't going to have the chance to say it again. And now, as abruptly as the motion started, it stops. The battered car comes to a rest. Dust slowly settles. An eerie silence hangs looming in the car. Life, death, my heart clenched in my throat, gripping back tears and still trying to breathe. And then,
Is everyone okay?
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
life. Life! In that moment, my priorities are made clear. Life becomes more simple and honest. And the questions that I carry with me, who will I be?
Where am I going?
What am I doing?
Will I be loved despite my mistakes?
Why did this have to happen?
Why do I hurt the ones I love most?
Haven't I learned this already?
These questions I carry with me somehow now have hope.
I don't have to have all the answers.
I have a lot of options.
I don't have to punish myself in order to be loved.
I am not dead.
I'll choose family.
I need my community.
Sometimes, things really are simple.